Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with my collaboration video for the Out with a Bang summer collaboration. This is being hosted by Mandy from Sunflowers and Dors and Julie from Julie's Papercraft. They have created some kits that those of us that are collaborating will be using in our videos. And so I decided to use the Grungy Poppies from Sunflowers and Dors. All of the kits will be 50% off through the month of August, and I will be sure to link those down below in the video description box. And I will also link the Facebook group, Junk Journal Ideas and Inspiration, that is co-founded by Mandy from Sunflowers and Dors and Justine from House of Mahalo. So, and Julie over there, Julie is a huge part of that group over there too. So, so this is, so basically my understanding, and I apologize, I have not had a lot of time to prep this because I've been just on the edge of my world this past week and a half or so. But it's basically just, hey, we're going to say goodbye to summer and do it in the most beautiful way. So as usual with other collaborations, there are prompts for each day. So we have joyful, some summer fun, fairies and florals, and on down the road. So I am partnered, and there's two people. On most days there's two people. There are some days that there's just one. And I am partnered with Jez from Nijeza Creates, and I just love that girl. So, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she does. I understand that she also chose the Grungy Poppies, at least the last time we talked, and grunge is right up my alley. So I feel like that's really fitting for me. So our prompt is mix it up. So don't you know, I have to mix it up with some mixed media. So I will also be but I'll put this at the photos at the end of the video, as well as I will put it in the video description list or somewhere else. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. So again, my apologies for not being at the top of my game. I'm working on it. So we're going to make an envelope kind of folio, but we're going to do it with a twist. So I'll show you this one in a second. Well, I'll show you, we're going to do the envelopes together. I'm going to show you how I arrange them. And it's been about 2 weeks since I touched this, so I'm hoping that I'll remember what I did. But the part that we're going to do the mixed media on is on this outside cover. So we're going to be using one of the images, and then we're going to be doing some mixed media work with some texture paste, some fluid acrylics, and we're going to grunge it up, and we're going to give it some layers of texture. So the supplies that I've picked are my raw umber fluid acrylic, which I'm going to have to grab my matte medium so I can do a glaze, Payne's Gray, which is a really, really rich blue gray, and my iridescent gold fine from Golden. I'm using Liquitex flexible modeling paste. You don't have to use the good stuff. I have linked before that there's spackle that you can use that is just as good. I just prefer my artist grade supplies. So these are, obviously there's a lot in these kits, you guys, a lot. And Mandy's did the poppies, regular poppies, and then Grungy Poppies, and then Julie did some kits with gladiolas. So really, really, really beautiful work. So I hope that you'll check them all out. But I went, again, because of my mixed media heart, I went ahead and chose these. So this is going to be our top page. So this is going to be the outside, the cover of the envelope, and I'm hoping to bring in some mixed media kind of around and kind of encroaching on the design there in the middle. So I have printed all of my papers that I'm covering the envelope journal with on 32-pound paper, and just to kind of cut down on the bulk. So I'm going to set that over there as well. And then these are just some of the pages. So I did print some of them 2 to a page because I know that I don't need a big image on some of my envelopes are very small. So this one is printed 2 to a page. This is 2 to a page. This is full size because we have, and I'll show you how many panels you need if you're following along. And then I just absolutely adore this one with all that beautiful script. So beautiful. And I love poppies. I would love to paint them. I've never painted a poppy. I watercolor, but this has given me some inspiration to pursue that. And then this is one with books, which I think is absolutely wonderful. I probably have more here than I need, but I wanted to give you kind of a spattering, also a view of what these grungy poppies look like. So isn't that really cool? Really, really cool. So that's 2 to a page. My printer was acting up, so I've got several of those. I have 4 of those. I'm going to set those extras aside. I can always pull them back over if I need them. There are some that are landscape and some that are portrait and some that are landscape. I love this one because we've got some large envelopes, so we're going to have something tall to be able to cover them. And then, oh, that's that one again. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Okay. And then this is 2 to a page as well. 2 to a page. This is a full page that will go on one of the medium-ish size envelopes. There's another one of that. Oh my goodness. And then another tall one. And then another tall one. Sorry, these are upside down. I'm probably just freaking you out by flipping them. So that's what we're working with. So we are going to be doing work with, let's see, let's count our envelopes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 2 of them that measure, the original size is 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I have 2 of that size. The next size, now these I did trim down, which I'll talk about when we start to do the work on putting the other set together. The next size is this one here. And we have 1, do we have 2? Oh, we only have 1. Yeah, 1. Sorry. 2 3/4 by 4 inches. And I have 1 of those. So times 1. Sorry, I need to move this up. Goodness gracious. I haven't created in almost 2 weeks, so I'm really, really out of practice. This one measures 3 5/8 by 5 1/8, and we have 1 of those. And then we have the small one, which is 4 no, wait a minute, 4 1/4, nope. Okay, let's just start over. My goodness. I'm so sorry, guys. This one is 2 3/4 by 4. So now these have already been opened based on my my little markings here. So I opened the top of both of the large envelopes, which we'll be doing together, both of the large envelopes, and then I opened the top of this one. So I wrote cut off top to open. This one is opened on the left side. This one's opened at the top, and then this one is opened over here. It's opened actually under here. Sorry. Oh my goodness. It is opened right there. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I will walk you through that because that was a little bit rougher than I would like. So I'm going to keep this right here because I do need to refer to it for my cutting. So what I did, so I've got the exact same envelopes here. So what we're going to do, we're going to do it exactly the same. So we're going to take both of these. Now they both, I just want to pay attention to where the flaps are. So, yeah. So we're going to cut off a 1/2 inch on each edge for the large envelope so that we bring this down to 7 3/4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to turn to my trimmer and I'm going to, was it that? Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. This is 7 3/4. The original size was 8 3/4. Yes, so I was correct. So we're going to take off 1 inch, a 1/2 inch off the top and the bottom because I want to have that even so that I've got the same amount here so I don't mess up that pocket. Well, that's all actually not going to be a pocket. It's going to be a pocket from the top. So that probably does not matter a whole lot. So, and I do apologize, you guys. I've been in crisis mode for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and keep those flaps just completely folded over while I trim off a 1/2 inch. So I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, I forgot to talk about the stencils. We'll talk about that when we get to that step. We're going to be doing some stenciling. So that is that. So we've got 2 of those ready to go. And then let's see what the next one was. I have directions on here. So let's go ahead and start with the little envelope, and then we'll put them together. So we're just going to take enough off of here just to open up the top of that. So I'm just going to use my scissors because it's a small area, and I'm going to do it the exact same way I'm doing this. So I'm going to open, I'm going to have the flap. Sorry, this is the flap. I'm going to turn it over. Now that's going to be upside down, but that is okay. I'm going to just trim off a sliver off of there. Okay, so that one is done. And then the next one is this size. And again, we're going to put the flap this way. So I apologize, that is upside down. And this one I did take off. It looks like about, I would say, 1/8 of an inch, but I'm not going to measure. It's not that important. So I am taking it off of the closed edge here. You could open these any way you choose. It doesn't have to be like I'm doing. So there's that one. And then the next one is the this one where we're going to open the top, but this one is going to have the flap on the left side. So this one, I'm going to have the flap here, and we're going to cut open the top. So again, it looks like I just took a sliver off, just enough to open it up. So it's all coming back to me, thankfully. There we go. Whoops. Got to get it all, Cara-Renee. There we go. Not too concerned about evenness. And then our last one is the flap is on the right side. So I'm just going to take that and put it like that. And we're going to open up the long edge. And it looks like I did cut this one down considerably. Let me tell you why. This is the envelope we're working with, because I want to be able to have something stick out of this pocket. So that's why I'm doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and just line this up and just make a mark and just follow this exactly. So I'm just going to trim that off right there, and I'm just going to turn to my trimmer. All right, so those are all ready to go. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take one of the large envelopes. I think I put this one on last, so I'm gonna, oh, that's the wrong way. Uh-oh. Oh, they're both open right now. We will have to glue one of the edges closed, so we'll take care of that in a sec. So this is our bottom one. I'm gonna turn it over. Nope, I'm not turning it over. It doesn't really matter. We're just gonna glue the bottom closed here, so I'm just gonna run a bead of glue. Not my best performance, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's all whacked out. So I'm just going to pull that off, actually, because these are really, that one's more secure. So I'm just going to actually nip that off. It doesn't matter, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, so that's that. So completely lost my mind. Yeah, so we're going to glue one. We're going to glue this one shut at the bottom, or top. It's going to open at the top. There we go. All right. I like to put all my envelopes together before I put papers on. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to put this large envelope, the next size up, and we're going to turn it like this. So the flap is on this side, and it's opened on this side. Is that right? Is that right, Cara-Renee? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. My apologies. So that's the medium size envelope. Okay, yes. So this is going to get glued on here, like so. You can line these up however you choose. I just kind of, I don't worry about it. I just do whatever comes to me. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac where I can, because I have more opportunity to move it. Okay, and then we're just gonna line this other envelope up here. And I'm gonna just kind of put it even-ish. I don't really worry about any gusset or anything. We're not gonna make this so stuffed full that it's gonna be impacted. So I'm just gonna give that a good press, turn it over, and do it from the same side. The other side, rather. Whoops. So that's that. Boom. Sorry, that's upside down if you guys are looking for that for reference. Now this one is going to go with the flap, as we talked about before, on the left side, and it's going to tuck in to this because we cut that open, so we can do that. So we can have one flipping this way and the other flapping the other way. So I'm going to put my Fabri-Tac on the flap here. Okay, we're going to turn this. We're going to stick it inside of here. And again, I'm aiming to kind of center it, but I'm not going to play around a lot because I don't want to smear glue and get glue everywhere inside of there that I don't want it. So I'm just going to commit very quickly, just about like that. That's okay. You do want to kind of make sure that they're straight in terms of, you know, in there. So we've got the same, just a little bit hanging over here and here about the same. So, okay. Now I do like to open this up because you can get oozing glue and we want to make sure that we don't glue that closed. Okay. So that's that one. And again, it is opened at the top, right? Yep. Opened at the top. This one is going to go here. And it's opening to the inside as we cut it. And again, you could have it go any way you want. You don't have to follow this exactly. And so we're going to go ahead and put some glue on the flap. Okay, so it's just going to go on the back of this. So I'm just going to lift this up and place this down. And I'm going to try to center this because I can see it a little bit better, like so. Okay, and then the last one goes on there as well. Now, we could do the same. So this one on the prototype is going from the outside, but you could also stick that one on the inside and have your flip out go this way, which I think I'm going to do on this one. Why not? Let's just do that. So just want to make sure that we can do that without any problem, and I don't think we can because of which side I cut open. So we're just going to have to go with this, which is fine. You could play around with that if you wanted to get adventurous. Okay. We're just going to try to center that as well, as best we can. Okay, there we go. So because this is not a tutorial about how to put paper on envelopes, I'm going to go ahead and cover all of these. Oh, we got one more envelope. My apologies. So then the last one to create this book effect is going to go, I think this was supposed to go somewhere. Maybe I glued that down. I cannot recall. Yes, I think I did, and that created some stability. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to glue this down, but I'm only going to glue it here so that it does not affect that pocket. So I'm just going to run a bead of glue. I better use my Fabri-Tac just in case I need to move it. Just going to put some glue there just to close that. Okay, and then we're going to glue our last envelope this way. Make sure that the opening is at the top if you're following along. So I'm going to put glue here, and this is open as well. So let's just go ahead and glue that. This one's more sturdy, so I'm going to go ahead and run a bead of glue all the way across here. Okay. Now that would all get, oh, that one's coming off. I think I'll glue that one back on if I can. Oh, I can't now because I just closed it. Let's just pull it off. those envelopes. I get my envelopes at Hobby Lobby, in case you're in the United States and you have access to a Hobby Lobby, because I can get them 40% off when all the Paper Studio stuff goes on sale. I'm just going to put some glue on this flap. Okay, and then we're just going to put that on here. And we're going to line it up as best we can. We want that to be pretty straight possible. There we go. Just going to flip that over and just give it a good press. All right. So this is the way it's going to open. Boom, like that. It's going to be epic. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera, and I'm going to go ahead and cover all these panels. I did want to talk to you about the sizes. So for the largest envelope, even though we cut it down, you're going to want probably four portrait papers, because this is taller. No, it's not. I didn't need portrait because this the total height is 7 3/4, so that doesn't matter. But you do need 4 pages. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the back, and then for each of the other ones it's 2. So because you've got 2 sides of your little flip flap. So I will be back momentarily. Okay, I've got all of them covered other than the little one, because I wanted to show you, in the back. Sorry about that. The little one in the back, because I wanted to show you, in case you don't know how to do it, when you've got an opening like this, you want to make sure that you only get glue in this area. You don't get glue in here. So let me show you how I do that. And then I also want to show you, pardon me, reaching. I also want to show you how I just kind of do the shortcut way of cutting these down. So I'm going to just trim off these edges, and then I just line it back up and just pencil mark to cut that out. So give me just a quick second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use half of it on the front and half of it on the back. So I wish that these were not quite so big though, because that's an awfully small envelope. But I didn't plan that very well. Maybe we could use this one instead. Yes, I think I'd like to use this one instead. It's a little bit smaller. There we go, more to size. So we're gonna just line this up here, and I don't go all the way to that edge, and I want to catch the top of the poppy if I can. So I'm gonna go down a little bit, and I'm going to make a mark right here. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut all the way across, because then I know that this side is going to be the right height for the other side of the envelope. And then we've got to cut off the bottom. So then I just hold this up. I leave a little bit, just a micro bit on the envelope showing, and I'm going to go down here and make a mark here at the bottom of the envelope. And let's go ahead and make our other mark as well for the width. So I'm just going to inch that back up, or inch it back into where it belongs, and I'm just going to make a pencil mark here. It's I should have done one that had like 6 to a page, so I'd have a smaller image, but that's okay. There we go. We've got both pieces now. So I think I do want this. I'm trying to decide what I want on the front of this envelope. I think I want the poppy on the front. I feel like it's still too tall. Well, just by a little bit. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just trim just a hair's breadth off of there. Whoops, a little bit more than that. There we go. So I'm going to ink this up, and then we'll be ready to do our mixed media work. I will be decorating this off camera, in case I didn't already mention that, because this is not a video on making ephemera. It's a video on mixed media techniques. So mix it up. So I'm just going to glue the back of this on. I'm going to glue the other one on as well. Okay, I'm going to bring you back to do the other side so that I can show you this part. So isn't that so pretty? Oh, I just love it, and I love how this is layering up. It's just beautiful. So then when we get to this part, I'm just going to make sure that it's not too long. It looks like this one's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this, and then I'm going to show you how I keep that preserve that opening, because if you were just to put this panel on, which I have done before, unintentionally, you actually will close up the whole pocket and you can't use it. So what I do is I cover this whole area here with the Fabri-Tac, and then on my digital, my paper, I think it goes, what way does it go? I think this way. Then I would put a bead of glue along this edge that's going to touch that. So let's do that. So Fabri-Tac first, because it has a longer time to dry. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a bead of glue on this edge. Pardon the clang. I have to tell you, it feels so good to be in the studio. Again, I've been away for, I don't think I've created anything in a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and it feels good to just be in here working. I come in here every morning and I turn the lights on and I just kind of stand in the space and wish that I was able to be in here, but yeah, it makes me very grateful when I get to come back though. So there we go. And so what I like to do, I don't remember if I mentioned this, I probably didn't because I wasn't showing you this part, is I do kind of stick a ruler in there just to make sure that my opening is preserved. So I'm just sticking this metal ruler in that top slot. If I can coordinate myself, I'll do it. There we go. And then if something seems resistant, I just kind of do that. Now that came up, so we'll just push that down again and let that set, okay? Oh, I love that. Oh, so beautiful, Mandy. Woohoo! Okay, so let's show you the flip. So this is the front. You flip it open. We've got this big panel here that we're going to put a belly band or something on. I'm not sure. I will. And then we've got this one that flips out like that. So I wanted to tie in the darks with the flower, and then that in the middle is perfect. And then this one opens on the side. And then this one opens at the top. Yes, at the top, and that flips. This opens at the side, so we've got that side and that side, and then as you just saw, this one opens at the top. We do have to put the back on. I just forgot that, and I've got a little bit of white showing here, so I'm just gonna give that a little bit of a nip. There we go. I just went through the envelope. Let's make sure that we didn't cut it open. Goodness gracious, I should have got my little scissors, but I don't think I cut it open. No, I did not. That's the paper. Okay, so let's cover the back. Oh, I completely forgot about that. So I've got a few more taller images here that I can choose from. So I'm really liking this one because it is like the front, but it's with this background. So I think I would like to do that. So let me trim this down. Well, actually, let me show you how I do it here again. So in this case, obviously our borders are going to come off, but I can still mark it and trim the edges off, and then we'll trim the top and bottom. So there, and there, I can't tell where that is. I can't, oh, it's clear down, it's clear back here. Okay, there we go. So let me trim those edges off. Okay, so our edges are there. So now what I like to do is turn this like this so that I can line it up with the top edge here. And I want to leave some of this brown here, so I'm actually going to move this up, 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 so that I get those flowers almost to the top. And I'm going to make a mark there. Okay, hope this is making sense. And then down here, I'm going to trim the top and bottom off. There we go. So I think I just left a pencil mark on here. So let's see if we need to trim any more off of here. No, it looks pretty, except we can't go to that edge. So I have to trim that a little bit more. So see how there's this little bit that's hanging out over the top? Can you see that? We don't want to, I mean, I suppose I could notch that out. Maybe we'll just notch that out. Let's go ahead and leave this. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this and glue it on. Okay, there we go. So we'll notch out those bits that are going to be hanging out. I'll show you here in a second, because otherwise we're going to see white and it's going to be a little bit, weak. So, oh, it's barely showing. Let's try to move it over just a bit and see if we can avoid trimming. No, we're stuck. I think I'm just going to ink that because it's barely showing. So I'm just going to give that a bit of ink right there. If I decide I want to cut it off later, I will. There we go. So that is that. So she opens, oh yeah. Whew, I thought I did that wrong. Okay, so now we're on for the mixed media part of this. So because I'm going to be doing a bunch of mixed media on here, including a glaze, I want to give this a coat of clear gesso. I use Liquitex clear gesso. Let me grab it for you. I didn't plan very well. So this is Liquitex acrylic mediums clear gesso, because that will preserve our image and our color, but it will seal this page so that when I do a glaze, I'm not going to be making a problem with my paper. So I'm going to just turn this over so that I've got it like that. And I'm going to grab a paintbrush, again, poorly planned here. See if I can find a softish one. There we go. So I like to just put the stuff right on. We might get a little bit of a bleed because this is an inkjet printer. So we're just going to give this a coat of clear gesso. What's really cool about this technique is you could do this on a journal page and it would be absolutely amazing. So we're getting a little bit of wrinkling, and that's because the gesso here has quite a bit of liquid in it. It's a fluid level of gesso. So we should be okay though. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to get all my brush strokes at least going the same direction. I think I'll go this way. Nope. I'll go this way. We're going to get some streaks because it's gesso. So there we go. So we're going to get some interesting little wrinkles from our paper. That's okay. I just don't like to have all my strokes be going all crisscrossy. So I'm going to set that there, and I don't have any water, so I'm going to set it in my drinking water and hope I don't forget. I'm going to try this really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just going to show you what this looks like now that it's got some clear gesso on it. So you can see we did not disrupt that color, but you can tell down here, well, I bubbled it a little bit when I was drying it, but we've got a little bit of wrinkle here, but that just adds to the mixed media effect. So there we go. So I am going to, I feel like I need to get a mat out so I don't make a real big mess, and then I can change it out if I need to shift. So let's just put that on that little bit of mat, because I don't want to get a bunch of paint on the other pieces of this. So I'm going to put them out to the side here, and we're going to I want to get some paint on here, so I need to grab another brush. Again, ill prepared, my apologies. I'll just grab a couple in case I need them. So I want to get a little bit of color around the edges of this panel. I'm going to use the Payne's Gray. And again, it's a very blue gray. I don't know if you can tell by the camera. It's a very blue gray. It's absolutely gorgeous. I use this a lot in the Winter Wonder journals. It's just really, 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 really rich. Okay, so I'm just putting some on my brush there. And I'm actually thinking that I'm going to, oh, I don't know, because I don't usually do this technique in this way. So now I'm stumped. I think I'm going to use my finger, and I'm just going to kind of pick this up, and I'm just going to get some paint on here. Oh, it's really gritty. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just using my finger and just kind of touching it on that edge. We can go in, oh, and it's catching on those wrinkles that were created from the moisture from the gesso. Absolutely stunning. Wow. Who'd have thought you could make this digital any better than it was? But I'm going to kind of turn this. I'm sorry for the angle. I'm just going to continue. I just got some on there. Okay. We're not going to be able to do anything about that. So I don't think anyway. Let's see. Nope. We're stuck. So that's what happens, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. So I am going to just kind of turn this so that I don't get more there, because I want to get that edge. There we go. So I really do want to get that whole edge. So let's do this. We're just going to do it. We're just going to go across that edge. It's really hard angle, guys, because I've got a whole bunch of envelopes that want to flip-flop on me. So we're just going to do that. Okay. Boom. Oh, top too. Yes, top. Oh, this is so pretty. I need to do this more with my digitals, and journals. It's really beautiful. Okay, so there we go. I love it. I'm just going to grab a wipe here to wipe my hands off, and I am going to just wipe this up because I don't want to get it everywhere. I'm going to show you what this color looks like. You can tell on the wipe. I think I'll hold on to this wipe, use it for something, but look at that color. It's just so rich. It's not a navy because it's got a lot of gray in it. It's just so very beautiful. Okay. These are the things that the nail ladies love when I come in with my hands all a mess. Okay, so there we go. There is that. Now, it's fluid acrylic, so it doesn't take very long to dry at all. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I am going to zap it just to be sure. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do some stenciling with the texture paste. Okay, so we're going to do this step, and then we will have to take some time to dry it. I may let this dry for a couple of hours, see if there's other things I need to do. And then we'll be back to show you the last and final step. So this is the texture paste, as I mentioned before, Liquitex flexible modeling paste. When it's dry, it dries really hard and crisp. Really, really nice. So the stencils. So I was undecided. So I pulled out this one because I really love this kind of Mediterranean look. But I also have it in a small version, which I'm thinking the small version would be better. So we've got that, but we've also got this design, which is a Moroccan tiles, but I'm feeling like it's a little bit too big of a design, so I'm gonna not go with that. And then we also have this one, which I'm not a big fan of these ones because they're a little bit more flimsy. This one, as you can see, I use those two at the top. These are all Sean Petit stencils. I used to be on her design team back in 2019. But this one would actually be kind of pretty as well. We could do a little bit of both. That would be interesting. Because I always do this design, this Mediterranean look, or whatever you call that. I'm not sure what that's called. So I think we're going to do both, which means we'll have to dry a little bit in between. So when you're doing two different stencils of texture, you have to dry the first one a little bit so that when you lay your stencil down to do another bit, you don't ruin what you've just stenciled. So I have a palette knife that looks like that. I like the squarish one, or rectangle when I'm doing texture paste. So I think we're going to, I think I actually want to start with this one and then just accent it with the other one. So I'm going to go down here in this corner, and I'm going to go up into the image a little bit, but I don't really want it to all be super even. So when I lay this down, I am not going to be putting texture in all of the spaces. So you'll be able to see that here in a second. Let me just get a bit of this out. Didn't like that. Bummer deal. Just going to wipe that real quick. Let's see if I want to fix that, because I'm just going to grab this wipe that has the gray paint on it, and I'm going to just try to get rid of that roundness there and just kind of misshape it so it doesn't look so weird. Okay, and everything else I feel pretty good about. But you can, while it's wet, you can kind of dab some bits of it off. I am loving that. So I want to do one more bit with the Mediterranean, or they're not called Mediterranean. This is Mediterranean Minis is the name of the stencil because it's got 4 different designs on it. So let's see. I think I'd like to go up maybe here just a bit. So I'm going to turn the stencil, and I do want to cover this so I don't get any residue that's underneath here on my other page. So let's see if I can find a straight edge. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to get a little bit more texture paste just before I try to put this down. I don't need much because I'm not doing much with this area. Okay, because I don't want to take away from the flowers either. And I'm guarding this area here, as you've probably seen me do before if you've watched any of my mixed media work. So I'm just going to kind of go like that, and I'm just going to put a little bit up here. Awesome. I feel like this is going to be very, very cool. There we go. Okay, and I preserved that little edge because I put the parchment paper there. So, oh, I love that. And I love how it's not consistent. Okay, so now just get that off so I can use this again. And now let's go to this one. I really like this one, but oh, now, sorry, we do have to dry that a little bit so that we don't affect that really newly imprinted texture. So give me a second. Okay, so it is dry enough to move on. I did decide to not use this stencil because I feel like it's repetitious for pattern, but I am going to add some script. And the cool thing about script is you can come into the flower here and give a really cool effect. So I'm just going to get a little bit more texture paste here. And this is not completely dry, but it's dry enough that I can touch it and I'm not moving the impression. That's what I'm after there. So when I use a script stencil, I like to come like that, and then I just kind of come in this way. I don't do a box or a geometric area. Just gonna go, let's just go with the bottom of the stencil here. So I'm holding it up here so it doesn't get in that, what I just did. So I'm just gonna hold that there. I am touching it though, I'm messing it up, that's okay. So let's just get a little bit down here. Don't wanna do it, I don't wanna go overboard. I'm gonna go into that texture again, I'm gonna go down, okay. There we go. Boom. You can't even really tell that I messed that up. So that's very, very cool. So, and I love the inconsistent pattern. So let me just hold this up for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Whoops. Oopsie. Like that. So you see I went over the design. So we're going to give this a bit of time to dry, and I'll be back momentarily. Okay, we're going to take a chance and we're just going to go for the next step. I am going to bring the camera in just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And because this was the first layer I did, so I know that it's had longer to dry. I did hold the heat gun to it a little bit too long, so I did get some bubbles. So I'm just pressing those out a little bit with my finger. And then the script is so fine that it doesn't take very long for it to dry hard. So that was with my heat tool, and probably about 5 minutes. So there we go. So we're going to go ahead and do what I call a raw umber glaze. So I'm just going to mix some paint up here on my glass mat. You guys can't see that. There we go. So a glaze is 1 part. I use raw umber fluid acrylic because that's what I love and know. But you use 1 part paint to 2 parts of glazing medium. Now we don't need much at all because we just have a little area. So I'm just going to do about a dime size of that. And I forgot to grab the matte medium. So the glaze is a part of acrylic paint, whatever you want to use, and then 2 parts of matte medium. This is fluid matte medium. The fluid part is important to get the same results that I'm getting. So 2 parts of this, so 2 dime sizes, 1, 2, okay. I'm going to use this brush, and this is going to be a little bit weird to watch because you're going to think I'm ruining everything. And actually, this is not a great brush for this, but should have had a bigger one. I wonder if we could still tap into that one I used. Let me grab that really quick. Let me grab it. Yeah, we can use this. So we're just going to paint this on the whole panel, okay? I'm going to probably need more glaze. And then we're going to get a baby wipe or 2. I'm going to leave that parchment in place because I really don't want to mess up that other page. So I'm going to start by dabbing. I'm going to rub a little bit in where the flower is. It's a little bit different using clear gesso. I usually use a matte medium matte medium underneath because I'm usually gluing papers on. In this case, the paper already existed, so there was no gluing on. So I'm just kind of pouncing like that, okay, because I don't want to remove it all, but I do want to lighten some areas. And then on this texture is a really cool, look at that. Oh, I love it. So I'm just going to try to rub a little bit in here and see if I can free some of those flowers. And this is the beauty of the glaze, is that you can remove the paint because you've preserved the base. So this isn't working as good as it would if I was using matte medium as far as sealing the page like I did earlier with the gesso. Hoping that's making a modicum of sense. I'm just going to wipe this up. Okay. I'm going to give this a quick dry. Okay, let me hold this up for you. So it's very grungy compared to the other pages, but that's the idea. This is the cover. So that is our texture. Okay, but we are not done. And you can see the flowers, the poppies, just enough. So I'm going to get out some, I'm debating on whether I want to use a wax or my iridescent gold fine. This is wetter, so I think I'm going to lean towards doing a little bit of wax. This is Art Alchemy wax from Finnabair, and this is called, I believe it's from Finnabair, maybe not. Yes, it is Finnabair. It's called Vintage Gold. And the way that the wax works is once it's set and dried, it's unmovable. So I'm just going to put a little bit out on my glass mat here, because you don't want to get too much on your finger. And so now the magic starts. So we're going to put that parchment back so I don't get any on the other page. Again, just like so. Because we're going to go over here, and I'm just going to lightly go over this, okay, with my finger. Okay, we're not going to go just over the texture. We're going to go other places as well. Oh, that's really gold. Oh my goodness. That's okay. That was a lot. Okay, a little bit more. We'll go over some of that text as well. With the text, it's because it's so small, we will get a little bit that goes, you know, hits the base of the paper. So I'm going to turn my body and my project a little bit so I can get this script. I also I think I'll come in with some of the iridescent gold fine as well, just to get a little bit more color on this. But yeah, it's beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, so let me wipe this up. I'm just working on my glass mat. That will all wipe off without any problem, just a little bit of alcohol. I'm going to put that brush in my water. Sometimes I feel the need to go over with another layer of the glaze, but in this case I don't. So I'm just going to cap that up. And we're going to get the iridescent gold fine. This is the fluid acrylic, one of my favorite things of all time. I love this paint. Oh, that was a lot, Cara-Renee. The thing must be plugged. It is, because I do not take care of the tops of my bottles, ever. Okay, so now I'm going to go down here and I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this. Oh, yes, good touch. And a little bit up here. It's a little bit much, I can feel. You don't want too much on your finger because you can't, it's harder to control. So just a little bit of gold. And then I do want to just go over some of the text just here and there, not everywhere. And we are going to get some residual, especially with the paint, because it's so fluid. So we're going to get it on the background. But I'll show you in a second what it looks like. But before we do that, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to go around this edge, and we are just about done. So I'm going to go from this angle because I don't want to get any on the back page if I can help it. And I'm just going to put a gold edge around that to kind of frame it on top of that dark Payne's gray that we did earlier. Oh, that was a lot. Oh my goodness. That was so much. That's okay. It'll be gorgeous. Okay. Trust me. Trust me. Mixed media is my passion. It's my favorite thing. So here I'm going to go down because I don't want to bring it from the back and get a bunch on the other side. If you do, if it happens, it happens. But there we go. I love it. So let me show you. Let me wipe my finger off here. I've got some waste here. So let me pull this wipe over because I might try to use this. I've been meaning to save these and use them. So I'm just going to wad it up and I'm going to dab and I'm going to turn it and dab some more and just not waste that paint. Okay. So let me hold this up, hoping I don't have any on my hands. Okay, so there we go. Okay, there she is. Look at that gold. Isn't that so beautiful? So it's just a great way to jazz up a project and give it a really simple mixed media look, because it's all you need. You can get cheap spackle that you fill your walls with, get a stencil, yeah, some paints, and you're golden. So, and if you didn't want it to get all grungy, you would just not do that raw umber glaze step. You could just come in with your, and highlight all that white. I just like to take the white down with the glaze too, because you don't necessarily cover all that up with paint or wax or whatever you're using. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to stuff this baby full. I'm going to make all of the cards and everything that are going to go inside of all of these parts of the envelope. You'll be able to see that at the end of the video in the photos, as well as on my social media and in the group. And again, this is the Out with a Bang collaboration. I hope that you'll hop on over. I am very behind because I watched the first two and then I got waylaid. So, oh, I think I did watch Justine as well, but that's as far as I got. So I've got a lot of catching up to do, but Jez is my partner in crime, so to speak. So I hope that you'll hop on over. She is a hoot to watch. I really, really love her. A really, really good-hearted person. So I hope that you'll, now, I don't know all of these people, but they're all fantastic. We've got Amanda from Scripting Mommy. Oh, she is the hoot. I love to listen to her. We've got Corey from Creating with Scraps. Corey Damon. I love her too. Anna from Pink Monarch Prints. Cheryl Talifas from Journal Cottage. So it's going to be great. And more and more and more. Nat from Nat Williams Paper Possibilities, Nathalie from Line Dot Arrow, Rachel from Rach and Bella Crafts, and on and on. So I will make sure that you get that in the pictures at the end of the video. So I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.